Welcome to another edition of One Take Only. I'm George Phillips with my very good friend John McClellan.
It's good to be here, George. It is great to be here.
The IndyCar season is upon us.
Yeah, and you know, I think it gave us a lot of insight on how the year is going to go. And I want to get into that.
I tell you what, based on what happened on Sunday, it's going to be a very interesting year. Dale Coyne won the very first race of the season,
Which is awesome.
Sebastian Bourdais won a race. Honda won a race.
Honda.
Who do you think is the biggest benefactor of that?
Well, I think that all the Honda teams, pretty much all the Honda teams.
Yeah.
But I'm going to tell you, Sebastian Bourdais, that was a big win. And it just shows the type of driver he is. But that Dale Coyne team, you know, they're not just a bunch of rubes.
Well, you know, they got the, as Bourdais calls it, the band back together.
That's right. They got the band back together.
They got some of the, you know, the guy that he had at Newman High. I'm drawing a blank on his name.
Right.
Plus, his engineer, was his engineer or team manager at KV?
Team engineer.
But, yeah, I think you're right. But those three really have worked well together in the past.
Right.
And so put that magic back together.
Dale Coyne did that.
And he did that. And they also happened to benefit from the resurgence of the Honda engine.
That sure did.
I mean,
I think that's fantastic.
It was interesting as the weekend progressed, because first practice, I'll admit I did watch it work some. The first practice, I think Honda had 7 of the top 10, including Marco Andretti.
Marco, who didn't do a bad, he had a pretty decent little race the other day.
Yeah, and I can't remember where he finished. 7th, okay.
Yeah.
But then the second practice, yeah, then it kind of looked like Chevy was coming on. They, I think they had 4 of the top 10 at least, and
you thought that's where it was going to be too. You know, you couldn't help it. Oh, here comes Chevy.
Yeah, and but then third practice on Saturday morning, I think. I think Honda had the top 6 cars in that practice. And then it carried over into qualifying. So, I take that back, because Chevy did end up on the pole with power.
With power.
But other than that, it was a Honda show, and the race was won and pretty well dominated by Honda.
Yeah, you had the number 2 car, Chevrolet, but then the next one was.
I think they only had 3 in the top 10, if I'm not mistaken.
Newgarden was.
Newgarden, I think, was 8.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I'm drawing a blank.
Me too.
But anyway,
it was a Penske car.
It was very. No, it wasn't, because
number 2 was the Frenchman.
Well, you had Pagenaud, then Newgarden, but then Will Power finished 19th.
Yeah.
And Elio did finish, I think, 6th.
Yeah,
maybe.
that's right. He did.
So
he did.
So testing our memories here. But anyway, very good race. I mean, well, so far as St. Pete goes, it was a good race. St. Pete is never going to be an outstanding race.
Right, but it's a fun race to watch.
It's a good start to the season. I've never been down there for that race. I'd love to go sometime. Every year, Susan and I always say, next year we're going there. And of course, once again, we didn't. So one of these days. Oh, by the way, we're out here. We're on my patio under the shed because it's rainy. It's cold. It snowed a couple of days ago. Going to snow again tonight, but it was nice and warm at St. Pete. So we got the yard of bricks behind us.
Right, and we wanted to put on the show. The show must go on. We've got a lot to talk about. Hey, I tell you what I want to do. I want to get into what I think that race revealed. And not so much of a surprise, but here's what I think. I think Coyne's going to have a pretty good year. But this guy right here, Ryan Hunter-Reay, he put together a awesome race for being all banged up. Those brakes went out. He didn't have any brakes on that last crash the other day. And that just shows that the type of team Andretti is, and the type of driver that Ryan Hunter-Reay is.
And because he finished 4th.
Yes, he did.
And he had that bad crash, and that was a bad crash.
Yes, it was.
In Sunday morning warm up.
And that was the brakes went out. It wasn't fault of his.
Oh no, and well, there were brake issues all through the
Right.
weekend, but I'm not going to get into that. Mainly,
Andretti did
mainly
a great
because one of the
job.
manufacturers has threatened legal action against anybody that trashes it.
Oh yeah, I hear you. I hear you. But Andretti, the Andretti team overall, they were pretty.
Yeah,
they
they're-
did strong, and Marco came in.
Well, it's
seventh.
amazing what a strong engine can do for you.
That's right. But that team, so that team is still a strong team.
Yeah, and Sato.
So I did a great job.
Yeah.
Yeah, another Andretti
So,
driver. Didn't wreck or anything.
No.
Came in good.
So no, they had a relatively good day compared to what they experienced most of last season. So
I think they had a better day than Penske, even though they came in. Their highest guy was number 4.
yeah, yeah, I don't think that the Penske drivers left there in a real good mood.
Right. Well, good, also, Dixon didn't leave in a good mood. I don't know why. I just
Well,
saw
he finished
that.
what, third?
Third, yeah.
Started second, finished third. Well, they had that controversial second caution period
Right.
for debris, and that kind of just threw everything into a kilter. And I guess one could argue, is that kind of where Bourdais took advantage of track position? Or I'm not really sure. Just suddenly I looked up, I get shortly after that restart, and Pagenaud was leading and Bourdais was second. And then I think lap 37, Bourdais passed Pagenaud. And I thought, well, things will cycle through and whatever, and that was it.
Well, you know what, George? It's the first driver to, hit the checkered flag. That's who wins the race. I don't care what happens.
That's very prophetic.
Well, I mean,
you sound like Eddie Cheever.
I am so tired of the people with fuel. It was a fuel race.
I know, but
You got to have the guts to sit out there like last year at Indianapolis.
Well, the good thing was that they turned him loose.
Yeah.
And I think he ended up winning by 9 seconds over Pagenaud.
Yeah, oh
if
yeah,
I'm not mistaken.
it was huge. Also, so I'm expecting a big year out of Ryan Hunter-Reay. One thing about St. Pete, every year, that first turn, it takes a couple people out of the race on the very first turn, and it took.
Well, that wasn't the first turn. That was turn 3.
Okay, well, what at the beginning of the race, it took out Ray Hall, and I'm expecting a good year out of him too. So we'll have to go back to the books.
Yeah, Charlie Kimball's getting a little too aggressive.
Right.
I think he's developing a reputation of kind of pulling off, the token boneheaded move each week. Paid off for him a couple of times, but
that's
a lot
no
of
place
times
to be boneheaded.
No,
it's a long race.
The third turn of on the first lap.
And you don't go, and he took out Graham Rahal.
Took out your guy.
That's right.
What is this, by the way? What's this ensemble you got?
It's from the Rahal team.
So
I've got a couple of my guys, Ron Hunter-Reay, Graham Rahal, and Hinch. He showed up yesterday.
Okay.
He was there.
Well, let's get back to this. Where'd you get this?
Well, I got it. I got it from the Rahal team. How's that?
Oh, you ordered it.
Yeah.
Okay. That's sort of like
Where'd you get that?
It doesn't matter.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
But you know what this reminds me of?
I haven't a clue.
It reminds me of going to a Titans game and seeing all those grown men in Titans jerseys.
Well, I think that's fantastic.
Well, I always felt like that.
Well, that's how you feel.
If you have another man's name on your shirt, that man owns you.
Well, listen, I'm a fan. My family, we are a Graham Rahal family, and that's it. And we, got Ryan Hunter-Reay, but Graham Rahal, I don't need to tell you why. Graham Rahal's pretty special to McLeod.
I understand that. So when Rahal was pretty well taken out of contention, did you turn the TV off?
No, I didn't do that. I wanted to see how Graham was going to come back, but I also had my eye on Hinch and Ryan Hunter-Reay. And I wanted to see Marco. I want to see Marco do something.
Where did Hinch finish?
Hinch finished behind Marco. I think like 8th.
No, New York was 8th.
Okay, 9th.
Okay, I'll take your word for it.
Yeah. I mean, he was up there. But I wanted to see Newgarden. See, I like Newgarden too.
Oh, I do too.
I want to see how he does with that. That new.
And I think,
team.
they can't complain. I mean, new team to him, and his first time out of the chute, he finishes 8th, and he was one of only 2 Penske drivers in the Fast 6. So I think he had a good day, but not as. I mean, let's just face it, Penske didn't have a good day.
No, Penske didn't have the Penske day.
No.
And
how in the excuse me, how in the world did they run power out of fuel, or did he have an engine problem? What was the deal with that?
I don't know. I just know that all of a sudden he's nowhere.
And
he's out. Yeah, they tried to pull him in the pits.
So
I mean, it wasn't a screw up or on
I don't know. It's kind of a mystery.
Yeah.
So maybe we'll find out something here this week.
Yeah. I just matter of fact I didn't notice.
Okay.
I was watching all the other guys and if Will was running up front, I'm going to take notice. But then all of a sudden here comes Bourdais, and that's who you're thinking about. You're thinking, hey, Dale Coyne, Bourdais. Look at Ryan Hunter-Reay. Look where he's come up. Wow, that.
I don't really get all jacked up about seeing drivers get real emotional about stuff or whatever. I'm not a big fan of seeing them cry or whatever, but I felt good for him.
I did too. I was very happy.
You could tell that race meant a lot to him. Being back with Coyne. His winning that race was no fluke.
No.
And
he's a 4-time champion.
Yeah, and just to do what he did, coming from all the way to the very back of the pack, I think this was a very special race for him.
Right.
I would like to think this is a sign of things to come for Bourdais and Coyne. I'm not going to say it is. I'm not going to say it's not.
Right.
But
they put it together.
They put it together for that race,
right.
And I'd like to see this continue.
Me too.
History says probably won't happen, but
hey, listen, Coyne won a couple years ago at Detroit, and
he's won at Detroit. He's won at Texas.
They could win a couple more races.
Yeah,
let's see him put together something really cool at Indianapolis.
Wouldn't that be something?
Yeah, that'd be something.
How about with Pippa?
Yeah, well, you know what? He put 4 cars out there last year.
Yeah.
And that's pretty cool.
And she finished the highest of all 4 of them.
Well, there you go.
So,
but this year he's got Bourdais on that team. One other thing too is, he raced for Newman Haas, and I think that to me that's one of the great teams in history.
Yeah, I agree.
May not have won an Indianapolis 500.
How angry do you think AJ Foyt is that he finally gets away from Honda and jumps to Chevy, and Chevy suddenly, or at least in this race, looked like the dog.
Connor Daly came in about 15 somewhere around.
I thought it was higher than that.
But Munoz came in last.
Munoz?
Munoz, yes. He came in last. That's too bad. Munoz is a good driver.
Yeah, he is.
Wait until Indianapolis comes up.
Yeah, that's where he shines.
Yeah.
But you can't judge Munoz on anything because he went out after 3 turns.
I know that's too bad.
But Daly, I want to say Daly finished higher than 15th.
Okay, up there. I didn't think he did so bad. With type of AJ Foyt, new engine,
new engine, new aero kit. Although that aero kit supposedly up until Sunday.
Don't you know Chevrolet got an earful too?
Yeah, especially for Foyt. So it'll be interesting to see what happens at Long Beach in 4 weeks. 4 weeks. What do you think about that?
Well, we're going to be awful busy after 4 weeks, aren't we?
It doesn't bother me like it's bothering a lot of people. I'm seeing a lot of negative comments about a 4-week break, and it couldn't be helped because Phoenix is normally I think the first or second weekend in April, first weekend I guess, but Final Four is there.
Yeah, well, you can't run against that.
And so that would have been, so I think this is a one-time deal.
Yeah.
And then I think next year you're going to see Phoenix back on the Saturday night, first Saturday night in April.
Well, I was glad to have a race anyway. If we're going to get one in 4 weeks, I can live with that too, because there is a lot of great racing up. Gives me a lot of food for thought about who's going to do what this year, and have you thought about who you're going to pick to who you think's going to win this year? We won't talk about who's going to win Indianapolis.
The championship?
The championship. Who's going to have a good year?
I mean, going into the weekend, I would have said who I also picked for this past weekend, Will Power.
Okay.
He's
always a good pick.
And I just think that nothing against the other drivers, I just think he's a cut above the other Penske drivers, especially on road street courses. Maybe not so much on ovals, but he's learned ovals too. Mm-hmm. I still think he is Penske's #1 driver right now. And going into this weekend, before knowing what we know, I would have also picked a Chevy team. After what we saw this past Sunday, I'm not so sure.
Right. I hear you. Okay, my guy who's going to win it, Ryan Hunter-Reay. Andretti, strong team. I believe in the Honda engine. I really do. And, 5 years ago, a weekend like that, I don't think Ryan Hunter-Reay would have had the same results.
Well,
he has matured and grown. Really, he's the man.
He pretty well said as much.
Yeah.
So anyway, I'm looking up at the time on the wall, and this is already time to wrap this up.
So, but we have picked our folks. Andretti's going to have a strong year. All of Andretti. They're going to really put something good together.
And I think now, knowing what we know, I think Andretti's going to have a strong year. Schmidt could have a strong year. I think Hinch is going to have a strong year, and Aloshin.
Aloshin did real well yesterday.
Yeah. So and I think that Dixon. I think
this is.
I think based on what we saw this past Sunday, I think Scott Dixon may be.
He's going to be a contender.
Yeah, he'll definitely be a contender. Yeah. I think he may end up having a very, very good year.
Indianapolis is going to be a blast too. Also, Ryan Hunter. Besides Ryan Hunter-Reay, I think we're going to see Ray Hall. They can win. They know how to win. They know how to get there. It's too bad that was taken away from us. That we couldn't see him run. Throughout a good race.
We have no idea what Ray Hall can do. He didn't have a great qualifying. Well, I think he qualified. He was in the second session.
Okay.
So he qualified at least 12th. May have been 12th, 11th, 12th, something like that. But we still don't know what we can expect from him. Anyway, last thoughts. Well, we're going to do one of these way before Indianapolis, but so thoughts about Long Beach, St. Pete, IndyCar in general, Honda, Chevy, Foyt.
Well, I tell you what, it looked like the stands were all packed.
It did look like that.
It looked good to me, and I enjoyed the race. I thought the TV coverage, I thought it was good. I enjoyed the big screen TV set in my den. I really like that, and with the sound bar. IndyCar, golly, I'm flipped out. I'm very floored. I'm excited about it.
Things are looking up. I think Jay Fry is the top dog going. Mark Miles picked him, so kudos to him. But I think things are in very good hands with Jay Fry running a lot of these things.
Yeah, and just the season underway and what we saw yesterday and where things are. I'm excited. I can't wait for the next chapter to unfold and see what's going on at Long Beach.
Yeah. And then once Long Beach hits, pin your ears back.
Yeah, that's great.
Because it's Long Beach, Barber. Phoenix. Are you going to Barber this year?
Maybe I might. I just might.
Well, that means no then.
Yeah, that doesn't mean
is your wife going to let you this year?
Stacy always lets me do those wonderful things.
So when you don't go, that means you choose not to?
No, that's not true either.
Okay. Anyway, but we're going to have...
I'm going to Indianapolis. I got my tickets.
So did I.
I think that's fantastic.
And,
who are you sitting with? Who's going to sit next to you?
Well, my brother, one brother always goes, another brother sits with me. The brother that sits with me is not going, and he's sold those tickets to some idiot. I'm not sure who it is. That's right. you're selling your tickets, and then you're sitting with me. So you get the.
I'm a pal.
You get a special privilege.
I'm gonna get some lessons.
Sitting at Indianapolis with me.
Oh, that's just great. I can't wait.
I bet you can.
Oh.
You'll learn something.
Well, anyway, yeah, I'm expecting a great year. I want all the drivers to be safe.
Okay. Oh, I do too. That goes without saying. Anyway, anything else?
No.
All right.
I'm glad that we're doing the show again.
I am too, even though it's freezing out here. I want to go in.